noticed a little thing between you and Brick.
What?
Nothing.
No matter what happens, I want you all to stay together, and I want you to do what you need to do to get out of here. Don't worry about me. Help as you can if you can. But mostly worry about yourselves, okay?
I'm not leaving you alone. You can do this.
If anything happens, I want to know that you will be okay.
I'll be safe.
Actually, he flips the conversation. He goes, I've noticed a little thing between you and Brick.
What?
Nothing.
No matter what happens, I want you all to stay together, and I want you to do what you need to do to get out of here. Don't worry about me. Help as you can if you can. But mostly worry about yourselves, okay?
I'm not leaving you alone. You can do this.
If anything happens, I want to know that you will be okay.
I'll be safe.
matter what happens, I want you all to stay together, and I want you to do what you need to do to get out of here. Don't worry about me. Help as you can if you can. But mostly worry about yourselves, okay?
I'm not leaving you alone. You can do this.
If anything happens, I want to know that you will be okay.
I'll be safe.
All right. We all ready to get started?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, we'll go ahead and recap last session. As the group arose from their slumber after the battle, they gathered their things and got some supplies before merging with the town as they started moving westward and reached the town of Bagram in just a mere few hours. Once in Bagram, Rashi went in search of getting a horse, with Racha tailing, before remembering that the captain said he would assist her with transportation, and gave her a draft horse, and the rest of the group went in search of a magic shop, without much luck during this nighttime endeavor. Though eventually the group altogether found themselves a place that sells horses, but were late to the party as many Dragonborn and Duragar from Demladur were trying to replenish their now missing horses from the earlier attacks. But after the crowd dispersed, the group moved up to talk to the Duragar, and after a painstaking haggle session in which Kaporin tried doing math, they came away with 2 ponies, one for Racha, one for Nori. Rashaw then immediately tried constructing his own miniature chariot behind his pony, and, well, it didn't work. Let's just leave it at that. During the day, the group were able to peruse the town a bit more, and Rashaw ended up coming across a magic shop, in which he went in and started touching things. Walking down one of the aisles, a force started pulling him towards a shelf, and he could not fight it, and collided with it, sending the shelf and the next shelf crashing to the ground. After which, the Duragar brandished a war axe, yelled at him, and Racha went skittering away. But it was when Racha was away that he noticed a stone hand wrapped around the pouch of his. And as he showed it to the group, they could not witness what was there. And as spells started getting done between members of the group to try and discern what he was talking about, the hand started attacking the spellcasters, and slowly gaining form. Only Nori and Racha could see the arm and shoulders that were throttling the both of them, and after some brash and quick decision-making, magic was sent into the air. The guard came running, Rashi made interference, and Racha was able to blast the torso now with his boom shakalaka. The group, with Rashi's help, was given an ultimatum: either leave the inner city or wear anti-magic bracelets within. Some chose to leave and others stayed to investigate a little further, but to no avail. The group all convened back at their horses, with Saren returning, missing a large portion of hair and eyebrows. But the group bed down, and Racha gave a facelift to Saren before sleeping, and the group gets a long night's rest. That's where we return. After a long night's rest, you guys are back on the daytime schedule with the rest of the town. You guys are currently with your horses and ponies now, but you're all together. Everything's going good. There is a lot of movement and excitement around as this is the first solid day after recouping that Demladorians, that's just what we're going to call them, can really take their time and enjoy being in a safe area once again. But nevertheless, the day is yours.
Am I wake up since I fell asleep first?
I mean, you'd be waking up marginally before some people, but you'd be among some of the first people to wake up, yes.
How long is it before I realize that I got a makeover?
Go ahead and give me. This is interesting. To feel yourself. Go ahead and give me an insight check. No, this would be perception. We'll go ahead and use insight since you nat 20'd it. It takes maybe about 2 minutes when you kind of start to rub your face and you pull your hand away and there's some smearings of yellow on your hands now.
Do I know anywhere where I can get enough water to like replace what's in my
Water skin?
my my water skin if I use it
Yeah,
to clean my
there's
face
like
off?
3 wells. So this outer area that is mainly being covered over by carts. There's 3 wells in sort of a triangle fashion that are out here. So it'd be maybe a couple minutes walk to go to the well.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try and use what's left of my water skin to clean my face off.
Okay. Easy enough to do. It's not terribly hard paint to remove.
And then I cast disguise self and start walking to a well, just to get my hair back and cover up any paint that I missed.
Okay. So by the time that he's gone doing this thing, the rest of you would wake up, besides chopping a little bit later.
Oh, that was a good night rest after everything. Where'd Saren go?
Sorry, your fake yawn actually made me yawn. Brandon would wake up if you're, and as you ask that, just kind of look around, and if she doesn't see him, just your shoulders. You didn't leave any note, you didn't say anything, so who knows?
He's probably fine.
Rashi probably say, I think I saw him going that way.
Just points in a direction.
From where you guys are at, it would be northeast-ish.
Well, I'm sure whatever he's gonna be doing, he should be fine by himself. Did everyone else sleep well?
Nori has mild flashbacks to the other 2 wizards dying, but says nothing.
Yeah, it's nice to be in a stable location, knowing that this is relatively safe.
Quite. I have to agree with that one. So we're planning to leave Dem Bagram for I don't know the other name of the other city. He looks over at Rashi and it's like, what was the other name, Rashi?
Camber.
Yes, for Kember. To meet with your mother and possibly one of the contacts we're looking for.
That's the plan.
Alrighty then. If you need me, I'll be preparing my horse. He needs good brushing before we leave.
So, Saren, in a few moments, you end up returning with your water skin refilled. there anything anyone you guys would like to do before you start heading off?
Go ahead, Nori.
I was. There's only one thing I can do, and it's only if I learn what's happened to Saren, so I can't do it yet.
Yeah, according to what you see, nothing seems to be off.
Rachel would just get up and have his normal breakfast and stuff and be ready to go, trying to learn the new pony and become friends with that pony instead.
Horn calls out to Rachel, "Don't dramatize this one."
The only thing Saren will do is at some point, before his spell would end, he'll put his hood of his cloak up to hide as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys aren't doing anything prior to leaving, then disguise stuff lasts for an hour, right?
Yeah, just 1 hour.
Yeah, so before it even finishes, if you guys are keen on getting out as soon as possible, then you can be on your horses and ponies and on your way.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Unless you don't have anything, I was just gonna say, I think, yeah, we're gonna move out quickly.
Rachel would look towards Rashi and just be like, point towards the Demladorians and go, "Goodbye, little bird."
Okay, now I gotta play as Rashi.
Doesn't know what the hell.
I thought you're coming with us.
Shakes his head yes. Points at him. "Goodbye, little bird." Her, my apologies.
You wanna say goodbye?
You wanna say goodbye?
Oh, no, I said goodbye yesterday.
Shakes his head yes, and now he's ready to go.
Alright. Kamar?
Which is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I've got to re-dumb myself down when it comes to Kenku talk.
Because we're all semi-fluent in Richa, and she is not.
None of us are fully fluent in Richa except Richa.
Semi.
The amount of times I hear her over my shoulder go, "What?" is very high.
Okay, so you guys get your horses and ponies ready, figure out a destination, have Rashi leading the group, and start out on your trek. Who wants to go ahead and roll for traveling?
Not it.
I'll do
I'll
it this
do it.
time. Okay, go for it, Nora. You said it first.
Well,
What do I
there's 2
roll?
days, so there's going to be 2 different rolls. So Nori's first. It's a D10.
It's a 9.
Okay. So you guys are traveling for the majority of the day. It's the biome here is a bit grassland, but you almost get the feeling that this was a desert at some point. And then as you guys start to travel, you realize, no, not a desert. This used to be a shore. It seems that a large portion of the western side of the Jewel Rose Clanlands was underwater at some point. Most likely not too long ago. But this does lend to long sandbanks that go from the coastline all the way in decently mile-wise into inland Jewel Rose. So as you guys start to travel, you veer in and veer out of this sandbank that has merged with different portions of grassland. And as it does so, about halfway through your day's travel, you come across what looks to be petrified, not sure how long or how old, but it looks to be like a coral reef. The way that it's situated, it's the sandbank here goes well in a few miles inland, past you guys, even so. And this coral bank, obviously not really native to coast, like being up against a sandbank. You guys can see that it doesn't look like this little reef was probably here all along. It looks like at one point maybe it either washed up or washed down from wherever it actually resided and is now here. Altogether, size wise, it scales up to about 30 feet tall, about 50 feet wide, and about 80 feet long. A sun bleached portions of pink and white coral, and it's all just maze like and scattered, all connected, but branching out in weird angles and degrees um, as it stretches down the sandbank a bit.
Would this be considered like a part? I'm thinking of replenishing my supplies for my makeup kit or for my disguise kit. Would this coral be used in that case?
You can roll an investigation check and see if it would work.
Sounds like a plan.
Going up to some of the brighter colored coral that's on the underside that hasn't been bleached out by the sun too much, you take a few shavings and kind of smear it between your fingers. If it gets rehydrated correctly and used in appropriate amounts and ways, it could fill in some of like the makeup that you've been using.
Cool. I'll take some shavings and enough just for like I guess a small case if I had to use it.
Okay.
This thing sure is big. I call out to the rest of the group.
It really is. It's just like how the ocean got sucked up.
Saren's gonna start casting detect magic just in case anything's here.
Okay. You cast detect magic. Looking around, the coral is a bit magical, it seems, but nothing in actual any school. Other than that, you don't get any real blips on the radar.
Richard would turn towards Nori and just go, huh?
I just kind of tilt my head at Rachel. I'm not sure what you mean.
The story.
The story about the ship and how someone angered a god, and in revenge, they sucked up the sea and grounded their ship.
He's just gonna look confused because he was clearly not paying attention during that story and just shrugs. I think it was the episode I was actually gone.
Kapor and looks over. Rachel, remember what Skipper told you? The story of the fairy tale that children supposedly know of? It's basically to refresh you, it's the ship that we've been looking for.
Green and gold.
Was
Oh, he's gonna like sort of spark of inspiration and go reach into his bag and pull out the thing that Skipper gave him. And it's like, huh?
The key?
Yeah, the keystone thing from the island.
Yeah, that'll be useful if we ever find the island again.
well, I'm sure we'll be out on the sea again soon. Still gotta find checking name. Haha.
He who?
Ihu. Haha. Ho ho.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
But we have to still find Hihu, so I'm sure we'll have to head out to sea again soon.
He'll just nod, put the key back.
Does the coral look like it spans our path in the direction we're heading, or are we kind of like riding alongside of it?
I mean, you guys are going southward, so it does lengthwise go from north to south, but it's not impeding your path or anything. There's plenty of room to go around, and it's just an interesting little find to come across.
It's incredibly cool.
Think you can rehydrate it?
That would take a whole lot more water than we currently have. Plus, when coral dies, it usually stays dead.
Do I poke it?
I poked it.
Go for it.
I think they misunderstood me, and I'm gonna stealth away.
All right, roll stealth.
I think you gotta be. Oh,
Can I do a perception check? Just
Sure.
to try.
I mean, you guys
You
were
guys-
talking to him.
Yeah, you were literally looking directly at me, but I just go running off into the coral.
And he's
just
gone.
not too far, but
We just all blinked at the same time.
And the bird's gone.
wait, do you
you're
leave
in
the
the
pony?
coral? Yeah, I think he said he ran into the coral.
The children of the coral.
like not like horribly into the coral. I don't want to like get myself into trouble, but just look in and around it a little bit deeper.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Bryn was actually gonna want him to do. So can she do it not stealthily?
Go over to the coral.
Yeah, I just want to check it out too.
Yeah, go for it.
It too.
Yeah. All right, so Nori and Bryn, you guys move over to the coral, and Bryn, you're kind of investigating it. Nori, you're kind of investigating Bryn's ass, and Rachar, you've gone diving into the coral, kind of just slinking around, dipping, dodging, ducking, diving, weaving, going a little faster now that Bryn and Nori have come to investigate as ready. Bryn, Nori, Bryn's ass looks immaculate. Bryn, the coral seems to be dehydrated ocean coral. Nothing really fantastic about it. You're not very well versed in coral of the sea, but from what you do know and what you have seen, it looks like probably a couple 100 years old at least. But the majority of it seems old coral. I mean, you even see some like dead mussels that are still clamped onto it. Racha, you end up kind of going in through the coral, and as you're kind of like sneaky and stealthily walking through and ducking under some of the lower portions, you're putting your feet through the sand until you feel something hard underneath it at one point. In the sand.
He'll sort of like, did it click or anything?
Make a perception check.
I'm like, did I step on a landmine just now?
All of a sudden you just hear, I fucked up and almost died.
Shit.
While that's happening, you said the coral had a magic kind of, but no school. I don't think I'm gonna get anything, but I'm gonna start ritual casting identify on it just in case something comes back.
Okay. No, you did not hear any click or activation of any type. You just feel as if you're stepping on something hard that's just underneath the surface of the sand.
he'll sort of like tap it a little bit with his foot, and then sort of start brushing away.
You hear a little doop, 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 and then you start scraping the sand off, and a little wooden chest, or the top of a little wooden chest appears, roughly about 10 inches long and about 6 inches wide. The top portion of it sits in the sand in front of you.
Does it have any writing or any sort of particular stuff in it, or no?
It looks like it probably had some sort of engraving at some point, but has weared away, either with weather or by some other effect, possibly underwater. But there is no discernible anything that stands out upon the chest.
He doesn't want to just yank it out, so he's gonna like scrape around the sides to like unbury it as much as possible before he lifts it up, because basically he's kind of checking for traps, but he's also wanting to see if he could get any writing on it by chance.
Okay, make another investigation check. Saren, your identify comes back. It's just ocean coral. Doesn't really come back anything more magical than that. Scraping around the sides and basically carving space around each side of this chest, you don't see anything extra. There is no trappings, there is no markings that are discernible. Just some scoring from weathering, but that's about it. A simple little metal lock keeps it closed, though.
Cool. He'll pick it up and put it into his bag of holding then.
Okay.
And then never tell us.
And he'll just head back to the group, unless there was anything else fancy around that isn't going to be dead coral.
From what you gather around you, it doesn't seem to be anything else. But the one thing you did find was underground, so unless you want to keep looking.
Nah, he's fine. He'll head back to the group. It's probably been like a good 15 minutes.
Okay. So after a while, Rashad does brandish himself from the coral, like halfway down on the other end.
When I said you could poke it, I didn't think you meant sneak away.
I poked it.
What did you poke?
He'll just produce the chest.
Oh.
So this is the first time you guys are actually seeing him use the bag of holding.
How
did you
What?
do that?
The chest, height-wise, sits about 15 inches.
I will just once again begin casting Detect Magic in case anything's in it.
In response to Koporin, he'll just start digging into the ground.
So you found buried treasure?
And just nods.
I mean, good job, I guess.
Kaporin pulls up next to Nora. It's like, wait. Where did he get the chest from just now?
I think his bag is magic.
I continue to scrape into the dirt and like give him the gesture of like, what do you mean? I found it just now like that.
I don't believe you.
Kaporin goes over to Racha and inspects the other bag that he knows, his coin purse, and looks at the difference at it now that they're outside the city.
The coin purse is small again.
Racha, are your bags magical? As he pokes the one not the coin purse.
He's just gonna like look confused and like shake his head, yeah.
Kaporn's just like, huh. This bird's
And
turning
this-
around 2 magical bags.
And this never came up? I have a magic bag that can fit a ton of stuff in it, and you just... Okay.
I mean, to be fair, he probably didn't have those words to tell us.
Very true. I'm sorry, Richard.
He just sort of shrugs and is like, 2 plus 2, I figured water.
Good point.
If someone only knew that he tried to shove Nori into it at the last battle, or that battle with JJ, that would have been hilarious.
Or you try putting JJ's head in it.
Right.
I tried to make a strangulation bag out of it. Yeah.
Modified bag of holding.
Eventually, Saren, you finish with your detect magic. Obviously, plenty of items across the different party members glow, but the chest itself does not come across magical.
Should we try and open it?
I don't sense any magic inside, but if you all think it is untrapped, then go ahead.
Kaporn offers the crowbar.
He's just gonna give like a so-so hand gesture to the if it's trapped or not, but he'll go ahead and try and pick the lock on it, I guess.
All right, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check.
Saren's gonna back up a few feet.
Okay, so after a few moments, the lock clink pops open.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, he just said he was undoing the lock, not opening the thing. So
I wasn't sure if you were pulling something up to say I triggered something, but yeah, he'll sort of just undo the latch then and lift it up.
okay, you undo the latch, lift it up, and nothing happens. Kind of opening and looking inside, you see what seems to be a small journal of some type, but it looks completely destroyed. You see what looks like to be some remnants of moss have grown on the inside. It looks like this chest was underwater at some point. You also find 2 decently large glass jars of some blackish liquid. And then you find 120 gold pieces littering the bottom of the chest.
Gold pieces, interesting.
I don't remember, but does anyone know if Saren was around to hear the story about the ship?
Saren? No.
It was the story was before we went onto the boat that we found you on the island on.
But you did just hear us talk about it, so if you wanted to ask about it, you could.
And the only other time that it was re-brought up was when you guys were getting off the boat and Skipper went to Racha and Solo talked to him for a bit.
I was gonna say, can I open up one of the jars and sniff the liquid?
Wait. Can I cast something first? I'm gonna cast Detect Poison and Disease. So if there's any poisons or disease within 30 feet of me, I know where they are and what they are.
Besides Saren's feelings towards some people in the party, no, you do not find any poison or disease.
You just feel the ire towards Racha from Saren.
I look at Saren and is like, is there anything you need to talk out there, bud?
He's making his transition into Sith Lord right now, so no.
I think the jars are okay. I'm going to be right here with lesser restoration.
So you're taking off the cork and sniffing.
Yeah, just like not like taking a big whiff, but yeah, like trying to get a sense of like, is it alcohol or is it like acrid type of thing.
Okay. So you uncork the top of one of the glass jars. Not quite vials, a little bit bigger. I would say that holds maybe about 4 to 5 cups worth of liquid inside, and it's about half full. Popping open the cork. You take 7 points of acid damage. As once you put your face over the opening of this, a very acidic, almost boiling the air around you starts to come up, immediately just causing your nose to gush blood and your eyes hurt. You currently have disadvantage on perception checks for the next 24 hours.
He'll immediately cap the thing and go, oh, ugh.
I don't know if it'll do anything, but I do cast lesser restoration.
He's not poisoned or anything.
Okay.
His eyes are just watery and won't go away.
Well, we're not going to open those.
Well, I mean, you can open them with your face over them.
That'll really fuck some shit up.
She's just gonna nod it. Richa, exactly.
You know what? I have enough faith in Saren's ability to work through at their mention of a story and the coral. I'm gonna cast locate object, and I'm gonna think about the. I don't think I can target something as big as a ship, huh? It has to be something small.
Just ping it in the chat. Richard, give me a history check. I mean, technically a ship would be an object, but it's got to be familiar to you, and you don't know the name, you don't know what it looks like, you just know there's a ship. So.
Okay. I'm gonna try and focus on a cannon then,
Okay.
and just see if I get a ping.
Pushing out 1,000 feet from you in all directions, you do not get a ping from a cannon. Richa, after kind of recoiling from the black liquid in there, some monikers of how it moves in the jar itself does remind you of Oya's contraption. Not quite the same, but possibly a portion of it.
Does that journal have anything in it at all, or is it just completely wrecked?
It is completely destroyed.
Question: does I know I have mending? I don't think it would.
No, it doesn't put ink onto paper.
Or just like it mends the journal or something. I didn't know.
Yeah, it would make the pages back into usable pages, but it wouldn't actually bring back the ink.
Kaporin would want the journal, if anything, just so he has a little notebook. But
okay.
Yeah.
I'd say if you do it constantly over the next couple days, you could heal the whole thing back.
Does there look like any sort of like moniker on the front or like logo?
It's still destroyed right now, so there really is no way to tell.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if like it was imprinted in the leather or something and it was able to stick around or not.
Nothing like that, unfortunately.
All good. Well, Richard would definitely not take all of the gold, so he just split it 20 gold apiece.
All right.
Why, thank you, Richard.
Thanks, Richard.
I took care of Rashi for you guys.
Thank you. Kaporin offers. Wait, there was the gold, the bottles, and the journal. Was there something else in there?
Nope. Moss. But that's about it. Dead. Long dead moss.
Well, Richard, if you're done playing with those bottles, maybe it's time we should get going again.
You said it was 15 inches tall. How big is this chest? He might just put it back in the bag.
15 inches tall, 10 inches long, 6 inches wide.
Yeah, he'll probably hold on to it then. He's got enough space for that.
Okay. Altogether, it's probably like 2 square feet.
Yeah, I think I can go up to like 64 cubic feet, so it's plenty of space.
Yeah.
If anything, I'm going to actually hit the pounds before I hit the space, probably.
All just the little shit you grab.
Exactly. Both of the bottles will be in the chest too, but the chest will be unlocked, but latched closed kind of thing.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, so you guys head up and head out?
It's honestly fascinating about how just the ocean moved, whether or not with the gods thing. It's crazy.
Quite to believe that this whole portion was underwater at one point is a mystery to I. But maybe we'll be able to find some more clues the farther we travel.
Yeah, and the last time I asked about it, it got me in trouble. So we're a little bit strapped for information as far as that goes.
Yes, I feel like if anything, we'll find more information if we're able to find that island again. But for the time being, let us continue on to.
Why would you get in trouble for asking about something?
My family isn't great, and uh, not overly fond that I'm a half elf. So we'll leave it there.
Okay. Honestly, don't know how Rashi would respond to that, so.
Some things are better left unknown, Rashi. But let's continue on.
Okay, so you guys get back together on the horses and ponies, head further southward, and finish out the rest of your day of travel. You guys stop over for the night, have a long night's rest, and in the morning, gather up your things and continue on with your traveling.
As he wakes up, he pulls out the 2 blood clotting things out of his nostrils from all the blood that was going from his nose, and he will roll the morning stuff.
So, you guys get to traveling southward, and the weather is nice and crisp and clear. A few clouds dot the skies as you guys are traveling. Not as much sandbanks that you guys are traveling over. And you guys realize that you're slowly on an incline up as you guys get closer and closer to Kimber. It's just before nightfall, maybe about an hour or so, that you guys start to see large plumes of smoke in the southerly direction. And Rashi kind of slows down for a moment and kind of points and yells out to you. There it is, that's Kimber.
Is the smoke normal?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And as you guys continue moving at a steady incline, you guys get to a plateau where it levels off, and you get to the move up another 30 or 40 feet before you find yourself on the edge of a deep decline on the other side. And you guys get to witness what Kember is. Kember, as you look down, a large hole has been dug into the ground here, rock faces lining every side. The city seems to be built in the middle of this hole and goes down with the city, goes down with the hole as well. Different bridges and connections connect to the outer walls of this hole, and you can see that there is a portion of the town that is built outside the hole, a little to your east, that has a slow, much more gradual decline down to the first connectors. And it looks like that Kember is a giant mine. You see the plumes of smoke. You see the plumes of smoke are coming from not only the middle of the town itself, which has a large stack, spewing black smoke out into the air, but 3 to 4 other trails of smoke seem to be coming out from further below the hole. You can't see down and where they're coming from, but luckily with the hole, not a lot of wind gets down here, and on the western side of the hole actually itself, there is a decent cliff face that goes further up into the sky, about another 400 or 500 feet. It seems that this area has been roughly protected by the winds and the weather, and that leads to a bit of a stagnation as far as airflow goes further down into this mine. But as you guys all take it in, Rashi refocuses her horse and starts heading towards the gradual decline area into Kember.
Wow, what a sight. This Kaporan rides behind Rashi.
Yeah, all in all, this hole, diameter-wise, is about 800 to 900 feet. The center town portion that you can see, its diameter is probably about 250 to 300 feet, and goes down for as far as you can see until it goes into darkness, which that alone, you're looking at about 1,000 feet.
So a portion of the town's outside of the hole, and then a portion of the town's just kind of goes into the hole. Excuse me?
Yeah, so there's a main portion of the city is almost like a spire rising up from the middle of the hole. It has connectors and bridges that go to other portions of the hole and connects to the walls of the mine itself. There is a small contingency of the city that resides directly outside of the hole that has walls and guards and looks to be some sort of protectorate in case they were to get attacked at some point.
Cool. Okay. But yeah, Kaporan would just be following behind Rashi, taking in the sights. It's kind of like, wow, this is pretty scary looking.
Rachel will let off a boat whistle sound, but that he has from back when he picked it up off of a ship.
That's a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Not much else to say. Rashi, your mom lives in here? What portion of the town does she live in?
Yeah, I mean, I used to live here as well. I'm not sure if she's still in the same place, but we were on the upper quarter.
Wow, that must have been something living in this town. Well, shall we head inside then?
Of course. And with that, Rashi leads you guys towards the outer entrance, which there is a bit of a pileup of people trying to get in, but it's moving decently quickly. And after just, 15 or 20 minutes of waiting, you guys get up. Rashi talks with a couple of the Duragar, and uh, with what's everyone's passive insight?
14.
13.
Also 14.
And
15. That's a little weird.
Before we get into town, though, would I be able to cast tongues on myself?
You can try. You casting tongues?
Makes it sound like a really unappealing option. No, we had a bad experience in the last town. I'll leave it off.
Okay.
Sorry, I read the wrong one. It's a 15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Bryn and Racha, you both can get the overall gist of what's being talked about, and you see the disregard that the two Durgar guards are talking in the way that they're talking to Rashi, and Rashi kind of being a little bit more quiet about everything and just kind of nodding and quietly talking. And then they kind of look at the rest of your group, and some coin gets passed between Rashi and the guard, and then they let you all through.
Picks up on this?
What was
Did he
that?
just go ahead, Nori? Go.
Oh, I was just saying, does only Bryn and Racha pick up on this?
Yeah, because wait. Yeah, because they're the only ones that got 15s, right?
Alrighty.
Uh, did he hand over the gold that I just split with him?
You're not sure what or how much. You just know some coin passed.
Cha's gonna try and sneak his 20 gold into. That's too much. That's a big handful. He's gonna sneak 10 gold into his pouch.
Her pouch.
Her pouch. I apologize.
Get it right.
I'm working on it. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you put 10 gold into her pouch. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. That'll do.
Are we riding into the city, or
Yeah.
did we have to? Okay.
Well, at least through this first portion of the gates. You guys move into the city and are greeted with pretty much strictly Duragar as far as races go here. But there are a few shops, a few buildings, a few, looks like residences as well, that line either side of this main road that you're walking down. There is only one single road for this portion of the town, and it leads directly to what seems to be a large metal walking bridge that goes to the actual town that's inside the hole. So a few things you should know. The city itself is split between 10 places, and depending on how well you're known and what places you have access to, the more harder to reach places are obviously lower down. Everyone has access to the top quarter, so the first 3 of the levels you can go onto. Everyone has access to it, and pretty much all the shops will be there, so you can, buy anything you may need to buy. I need to go see my mom. But if you want to go down any further, you either need to buy a pass or uh, know somebody. And I'm not the somebody to know.
Richa was midpoint about to say, repeat her, and it's like, oh,
I myself have never gone past the first quarter.
Thank you, Rashi, for letting us know. Um, do you mind if I accompany you to find your mom?
Well, I'm not sure if she's going to be working right now or at home or if she's moved, so it's going to take me some time. You guys have fun, and I'm sure I'll be able to find you when I'm ready.
Well, do you know where we can keep the horses since you have one as well? I'm assuming they don't go much farther down.
No, actually, if there is an inn. Hold on, pull my notes. There's an inn on the third level that's called the Fluffy Pegasus, and I want to know how many of you started laughing when you heard that.
Yep.
It's an inn, and once you get there, you can. It doesn't cost a lot, but you pay a little extra, and they can take care of the horses for you.
business or pleasure?
Um, she kind of just looks at the rest of the group. Both.
Point just like waves is like, don't worry about it. It's okay.
Yeah, Bryn's gonna shake her head and just go, yeah, I don't know.
Nori just shrugs.
What are the rules about magic here?
Um, your guys' type of magic probably not gonna be uh, received very well. They've got their own styles of magic down here, and you guys are already outsiders, so I wouldn't do too much.
What about music? Do they care for music?
I mean, I don't really care for music myself, so I don't know the music scene. I mean, most taverns will have music in it, so in that regards, I think you're fine, but I mean, there's still Duragar, and well, if you get on one of their bad sides, I mean, well, depending on whose sides you get on, could spell many different situations you'll get yourself into.
Yeah, well, let's keep the magic to next to none.
I mean, obviously, you guys need to do magic to be able to talk to people. Since I'm not going to be with you, I would say just do it very quietly, possibly like in the bathrooms or something.
That works.
Sounds like we're doing drugs or something.
Yes, we're doing magic drugs.
Richa has written down, do it quietly in the bathrooms or something.
Oh no.
And you gotta say it like a shy girl.
All right, Rashi. Well, if you need our help, just let us know, and I would love to meet your mother.
Yeah. We'll get there. I'll see you guys around.
Before Rashi goes, Bryn's just gonna go up to her. She doesn't want to do this conversation in front of everybody, just in case. What was the conversation with the guards about?
Oh, just they're welcoming me back, and saw that I brought companions who aren't Durgard. so we just had to do a small payment to uh, grease the wheels. You know what I mean?
She'll nod. And how small of a payment was that?
Oh, it wasn't really nothing. Racha already had given us some gold, so it was more than enough to cover it.
Are you sure? Did she insight check that?
Sure, inside check. Hard to read.
Alright then. Just let us know if we can do anything.
Yeah, I just gotta find my mom, is all. You guys have fun. Don't get into any trouble.
Yeah, hopefully the bird won't stealth away. It seems to be where a lot of our problems stem.
He's already gone. No, I'm kidding.
You fucker.
No, I'm not.
Maybe some of the Duragar kids like can get rambunctious, and the city with the way that it is, one wrong step and well, it's a long way down. But some of the Duragar kids have like these little harnesses and leashes. That might be a good idea.
Really? Yeah, I'll have to look out for one.
Yeah, you can find one at the Eager Winged Lion. It's on the 2nd level.
I cannot believe this is a thing.
She had to wear one as a child, I bet. That's why she
Me?
knows. No, Rashi.
No comment.
Is it Eager Winged Lion?
Yeah.
We're definitely checking that place out.
And if I was you guys, I would probably have either you, Bryn, or Nori doing most of the talking. Durgar fancy women of other races, so it'd be easier time haggling for you guys.
She'll nod at that. Alright then. Thank you for the heads
And
up.
to be honest, probably should be Nori because you're a little tall, and well, Durgar aren't so tall.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Throws a wig onto Richard.
Okay, don't die bye.
Oh man, I wish Rachel heard that one.
And
Wait,
with
could
that,
she have
with
said that to everybody?
Nope, just you.
Oh, okay.
And with that, Rashi is gone.
Go back over to the group. Well, Rashi informed me of an interesting shop that we should check out.
Ooh. An interesting shop?
Something to... I'm gonna just look for the right words, because how does she say this nicely? Wrangle in the sneaking away.
Yeah, maybe sneaking in isn't a great plan.
We'll see what they have.
I feel like this is just a conversation between the two girls so that Richard can't hear them.
It's all
I feel like he's not even really just paying attention. He's just like thinking about places he wants to go check out.
Nori has mentally prepared herself to jump off and turn into a bird to save someone.
Kaporn will be the first to walk down the street towards the giant bridge.
Or Kaporin does that. Though if we do go into any shop, she mentioned that it might be best if Nori or I talk with them. It sounds like they enjoy women of other races. But then she mentioned that probably should be Nori because of your height.
Well,
You're closer to their height. I'm too tall.
But Saren could. Kaporn looks over as like,
yeah, you do have that disguise spell. Oh, wait, you're really tall too.
but doesn't disguise self can you can alter your height as long as no one touches you or something like that?
Oh, I'd love to hear Saren give me a girl voice.
You can alter it by only a foot, and it's
still not there.
your body is still there. So if somebody were to throw something over his head, it would smack him straight in the face.
If not, I'm throwing a wig on Rachel, and we'll see how that goes. Did Saren say something?
I was debating to say something. Sorry, but go ahead.
Well, I guess we should find that in first then.
Rachel would be fully willing to go grandma again if that's what we wanted to do.
Kaporn offers the wig over to, or no, let's get to the inn first. Kaporn's like, Racha, I have an idea, but we have to get to the inn first. So Kaporn's gonna lead off towards the, what is it, like a bridge ramp section for the third level.
Well, to go down levels, it's actually almost like a roped elevator. On the so you guys came in from the north and the south sides of each disc that the town is built upon has two like cargo elevators that are constantly taking people up and down. So they're large enough for masses of people to be moving at once. And you guys can take yourselves and your steeds and get on one of these, going down to the second. These cargo elevators only go down one level at a time. So you don't need to worry about getting on the wrong one and going too far down or something like that. So you go to the northern one for the hell of it. Go down to the second disc, and you guys are going all the way down to the third right away.
Yes, to the inn, to the level the inn is on.
Okay. So the cargo elevators are offset, so top disc being north and south, second being east and west, north south, east west, north south, east west. So you guys could move over to the western elevator to get down to the third floor, and you are there.
All right, I guess we find this hotel.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, whoever's looking.
Could we all do it, or just a couple? We'll just say Kaporn didn't look.
Kaporn spotted a cute Durgard walking by, and he's just like, ooh.
About half your size.
Size don't matter.
Nori, you getting off the cargo elevator, talking to everyone. So, should we look for this inn? And then you look up and you just see this chubby, stuffed Pegasus almost staring directly at you. The size of it being roughly like 30 feet tall and about 50 feet wide, with the wings outstretched.
Well, I think we found it.
And unlike most horses that have like the matted fur to itself, it almost looks like it was mated with a sheep, as it has like wool around its neck and chest. Pinch the fluffy Pegasus.
It's so fluffy.
Can the bird sleep on the roof?
We would have to ask, and I don't know if the answer is going to be yes. Also,
with
won't
her
drop.
with her perception check, you can tell Rachaw that the roof of the fluffy Pegasus reaches up to the top to the disc above it, so there is no ceiling or roof to sit on.
He was more referring to, can he sleep on the head of the Pegasus?
Oh, I know what you want to do. But Pegasus' head's not that big. But I'm sure Rachaw would still try. Nevertheless, Fluffy
where-
Pegasus is directly ahead of you. You see the Pegasus, but you need to work around some buildings to get to it.
Alrighty then. I guess we work our way around some buildings to get to it.
Huh? As Comporn like realize that you're talking all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Hey.
Kaporan realizes that everyone else has started walking away from him.
Come on, this way. Don't get left behind.
Oh, okay. Falls like a little kid.
We're just able to like hang on to his reins instead.
So eventually, you guys do pull up your steeds in front of the Fluffy Pegasus. Going inside, it's a very nice red velvet feel. On the inside, the couches and chairs that line this bottom portion, as well as the carpets that line the floor and go up the stairs to the different levels. It's very warm interior, not only in temperature but in overall colors and aesthetic. Duragar female kind of sits behind the counter as she sees you all walk in and starts speaking under Dwarvish.
Saren! A little help, Saren.
I don't know if you heard Rashi, but not a good idea.
Yeah. I think just in common, I just like, do you by any chance speak common?
Shakes head, gives a shrug.
I'm gonna try an undercommon.
Try what?
Oh, just same thing Nori said.
You're asking if they speak common?
Undercommon, sorry.
As you start speaking, almost like grating your nails on a chalkboard, she kind of recoils to the language you're speaking and just kind of waves her hand at you.
I go silent.
Nori, Saren, would you mind coming over here? And Comporn takes them off into the corner. Is this place populated right now, or is it kind of just...
There's about this first floor expanse is decently expansive. So right now there's about 10 different individuals that are walking around, but the corner closest to the entrance on the opposite side from the female Duragar that's working the counter is pretty absent.
Comporn just like, Saren, if you could possibly help with one of these, maybe we can even step outside if you need to cast it on the side of the building or something, but I don't feel like we're going to get very far unless either points at Nori. It's like she can start talking to people.
I can't talk, I can only understand.
I'd rather not risk it unless we're in a room.
Were there any alleyways we could see, or is they just so close together?
A lot of these places are kind of smashed in because they're trying to make as much room, much use of the space as possible. But there are a couple just they're not so much alleyways as just decently large splits between certain buildings because they need to allow for movement of the buildings so that way they don't all come crumbling down. So maybe no bigger than one person in there at a time, like single file.
Could we have Saren go in and cast his spell, but have Corparan stand outside because he's very, very tall and just kind of block the way?
Yeah, you can do that.
So me, Theron, and Nori all head outside while the other ones stay inside.
I'll stay inside. Or should I go with them?
Well, tongues is touch.
Well, I was gonna have Saren cast it on himself. I don't know.
Warren doesn't want to cast it on himself.
Warren will talk this first time, if anything. If Theron, if you don't feel comfortable talking, I can certainly, for now, if you don't mind just casting the spell on me.
Saren will just start heading outside then.
Warren follows outside with Theron.
You guys do your drug deal.
I was actually gonna drag Nori along with me outside, along with them.
Alright, Bryn's gonna stay inside and try to pantomime her way through this. Because why not?
Richa, where are you taking me?
As he sees like Saren and Corparan heading towards the alleyway, he's going to hand Nori over to Saren and then grab Corparan's hand and drag him off and start like climbing onto him and making a distraction.
Richard, you're not really my type, as he kind of whacks his arm across, like trying to get him off.
Well, I guess you're casting the spell on me.
Yeah, if Saren has a moment where he thinks, where he doesn't think anyone's watching, he'll cast tongues on Nori.
I want to try and stand on Saren's shoulders, or Corparan's shoulders, and like a cheerleader would, and then deliberately fall off and flat on my face.
Okay, go ahead and make a performance check. You get advantage because Corparan's helping technically. And you do so. With you standing on Corparan's shoulders, it technically equates to 10 feet. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam face first into the ground.
Warren doesn't even have to act for this, but he's like, Richard, what are you doing? Are you all right?
He'll just sort of stand up and go, ta-da!
You guys are getting some very awkward side eyes from Durgar as they're passing.
Exactly what he's looking for. Saren, go ahead, cast a spell.
Corparan's trying to perform first aid on a face-planted bird.
Don't do magic.
That's why I'm doing first aid.
It's turning into a Three Stooges act as Racha is completely resisting it.
Pretty much. So the spell gets passed on to Nori.
Hold still, Richard. You need to.
You guys see this interesting thing of Racha on the ground with Corparan trying to put bandages around him.
I'm sorry. Rajal, what happened?
He'll just get up like everything's fine, and he's like, 2 + 2, I figured water. A little tears going down his eye.
In this moment, Corparan just bandages his head.
I guess we go back in and try to get a room.
Kaporn picks up Patron and is just like, "You're with me, bird."
Bryn, during all this,
Yep, I like go up there and I'm like, I put up 5 fingers because there's the 5 of us, and hopefully she understands what that means. Like just 5 rooms, or not 5 rooms, 5 people. Good God, no, not 5 rooms, 5 people.
you put the number 5 up, so she's thinking 5 rooms.
Well, I don't know how big
She
their
kind
rooms
of
are. But
looks at you, nods, pulls out a
put
piece
out
of
any-
paper, and writes down a number, kind of flips the paper over to you and hands it to you. And the number is Fluffy Pegasus. 5 people. That's, oh god, math. Not in math brain right now. Must access files.
Don't ask Kaporn.
30 trillion.
Bryn will like put her hand out for the pencil or whatever she was drawing with, just to double check.
And actually, she's gonna put 30 with an arrow and put a little moon next to it, and then she's gonna do put 60, and she's gonna put 2 moons next to it.
Let us know when we finally get in.
So I'm assuming that's 1 person or 2 people or 2 rooms. I don't know anymore.
Moons.
Nice. 2 nights. Gotcha. Yeah, Bryn's still gonna ask for the pencil, just I guess double check how many rooms that would be. To like draw the squares with stick figures with the 3 and 2 or something like that.
Kindergarten math.
Heck yeah.
She, let me see. Okay, she understands what you're saying. She crosses out the 3 and the 2, and draws 5 separate squares with a person in each one. She goes, as you're kind of looking at it, she pulls it back, draws a slightly bigger room with 2 people in it and a heart, and then puts 4 rooms singular, and she puts down 26 trillion, or the number 26. With 1 moon.
All right. I don't know how she. Okay, she's gonna double tap the 2 big square rooms.
1 big square room with 2 people.
We can't get 2 big, two of those.
Shakes her head no.
So then we need 1 of those and 3 of the small ones. Unless, I guess I don't know what Rashi's doing. Didn't ask, but I'm assuming she would be able to stay with her mom.
Yeah. Zoe nods her head and then kind of taps at the 26.
Okay.
She points to the 1 moon or the 2 moon? Kind of like looking at you, waiting for you to answer.
Let's just do the 2 moons.
She nods and writes down 52. Luckily, numbers transcend language.
And then just 3 of the single rooms.
Yeah.
And those are still 30 trillion for the 2 night, or the 60 trillion.
It'll be 52 trillion for all the rooms for 2 nights.
Gotcha, sorry.
That's pretty cheap. Is this about time where everyone comes
This is
back
where
in?
everyone's coming back in, yeah.
As Bryn is pulling out money to hand to her.
Oh, did you already? Okay. What is our room situation?
Does the door guard just kind of look at like all of a sudden she can understand what Nori's saying?
That's not how tongues work. Oh, I guess yeah, she would know Nori's language at least.
Yeah, I think it's literally just she understands it, so she would hear it however she would normally hear
Yeah, it just
words.
auto translates. And she kind of just like looks at Nori, kind of confused.
Yeah. Bryn, what? Did you manage to get rooms or?
Yep. I got 3 single rooms and a double room.
So people have to. I go to look at the lady and just go. So people have to have single rooms.
We don't have much vacancy right now,
Okay.
so we only have the honeymoon suite and a few spare single rooms left.
Bryn just saw the heart. She doesn't know what the heck it means though, so
Roy just
Roy just-
sighs and relays this to Bryn.
you're just going, shrug.
Can the bird sleep on the roof?
Can my bird friend sleep on the roof? Just looking like I know the answer is no, but I'm being forced to ask this.
And then the serious question of, I forgot to talk about the horses.
I'm going to have to politely decline that request.
I will nod and then we have some horses. Is there anything we can do about that?
Yes, we can take care of your horses. How many?
We have 3 horses and 2 ponies.
All right. Three horses, 2 ponies. That's going to be. And you're, I guess you want us to take care of them for both nights as well?
Yeah.
So 2, 6, 12, 2.
Cause yeah. Okay. Never mind.
That's going to be an extra 16 trillion.
It will be an extra 16 trillium for what's it called? For them to take care of the horses for the 2 nights.
That includes feeding them and taking care of them and boarding them.
And it includes everything.
Pass over for 8 gold.
I'm sorry, but we don't take gold here.
Well, I have 11 trillion. Does anybody else have 5 trillion?
I have 11 trillion.
So did you pay the rooms with trillium or no?
No, I could use platinum and gold.
Okay, you can use platinum. They won't take gold.
My brain hurts.
Then I would have given her the 3 platinum then.
Okay. 3 platinum.
I'm glad Bryn's the bank.
Raja will pull out whatever the 16 trillion was needed for the ponies.
Oh, the 3 platinum, that's 30 gold, so that's 60 trillium. So she'll give you 4 trillium and change for the rooms. And then it's 16 trillium for that, so 16 trillium from Richard. For the horses.
He will gladly hand it over.
Where are you getting this money from?
So with that, Richard did find a chest full of 120 gold. So I mean,
I was also gonna. I just point at my purse, just like, what do you mean?
and the keys get handed over to you, Bryn. One of them being much more ornate than the other ones, also having the handle of the key form a heart, and some red velvet strands kind of hang off of it as well.
Love it.
The rest are just regular keys.
Richard will go out to his pony, and I feel like over the last 2 days, inspiration would come to him to name his pony Auga. So he just goes out and goes, "Goodbye, Auga."
The pony stares at you. Nevertheless, you guys are given your rooms. Nori, the Durgar woman, tells you that the honeymoon suite is on the top floor. The rest of the rooms are on the second floor.
Relay this information.
Thank you for this information.
They tell you to leave the horses outside. They will get someone to take them in just a moment.
I thank them, and I guess we head to our rooms.
Maybe after we all see our rooms, meet back down here in 5 minutes.
Waiting for
I think
someone to say, Bryn and Nori are going to need more than 5 minutes.
Fuck off! I was. God damn it!
She did say it. I will
No, I
say it.
wasn't going to.
But Nori and Bryn, take your time. Escaporn looks at the guys.
As they leave the men to the second floor, you guys go into your rooms, and they're nice dark wood rooms, red velvet carpets and sheets, 4-post bed frame, a small dresser, wash basin, and a bit of an armoire. It's a nice room. They're not decently large, but they're good for a single person, and you guys start putting your stuff away and kind of just sitting down, relaxing, maybe stretching out across the bed. Nori and Bryn, you guys get up to your room, top floor. There's only 2 doors on the top floor, one to the left, one to the right. You get the sense that yours is to the right, as the door for it has a red heart around the handle, and the other one seems to be of a blue persuasion. So you put the key in and unlock the door, and just like all the cheesy movies that you've seen about the hotels and motels that have honeymoon suites, the nice heart-shaped bed that spins and rotates, the small bath in the corner with plenty of accoutrement for bubbly baths to be had, 2 small dressers, a forgot what the hell their name, but footlocker. There you go. A footlocker rests at the top, the base of the left side of the bed, where you guys are coming in from the door. A partition is also erected. It's just a small curtain that can be pulled over the window that rests over the bath. And everything, though you've been in a very red velvet place this entire time, everything has just a slight more shade of like pinkish to everything.
feel like Bryn's just not realizing what she got herself into. Like she kind of understood, but she's like, "Oh, holy hell," kind of thing. Um, so she's not gonna say anything, and she's just gonna walk in.
Nori doesn't say anything either.
Close the door behind you, and you guys start perusing the interestingness of the room. You guys kind of both go to either sides of the bed as it stops rotating as you approach it. And you both sit down, and it's a waterbed.
How luxurious.
So you both sit down and both start rocking. Nori, a little bit of the seasickness starts to immediately come up from the back of your chest, and you're just like,
Nope. I go back on the floor.
You could just wild shape into like a dolphin or something. it'll be fine.
Brain, you sleeping with a porpoise tonight.
That's a whale amount of fun.
No, absolutely not.
The number one thing I need to know is when they lay down, is there a mirror on the roof or ceiling?
Well, they gotta lay down first. We gotta find out.
Down on the bed, I'll get sick.
Lay on top of Bryn. Maybe that will help.
Brain, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
She's struggling to breathe for a little bit. Give her okay.
So, Bryn, as you're kind of like slowly getting off this moving bed, you do see there is a small handle next to the bed, and as you pull it to help get yourself upright, the water bed solidifies, and it becomes just a regular bed to lay on.
God. She'll mention that to Nori.
Another lever that's a massage feature.
With that investigation check, she'll never know.
I don't know if I want to know.
I'm sorry, I can't breathe.
You might want to move on to someone else. I think Nori and I are both done for a moment.
So 10 minutes later, after everyone's regathered downstairs,
All the guys are pretty much down there in the first 2 minutes and just waiting, focally keeping an eye on Ratras so he doesn't stealth away.
Kaport just sitting on the couch. I assume there's a couch, and just strumming away at his, quietly strumming away.
Eventually, Bryn and Nori make their way back down.
And I'm sure they're both beet red in the face because, oh god, what did we get ourselves into?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. That's why you're red faced.
Flustered. It's not like you just ran a mile in the last 8 minutes.
Bryn, Nori, you're looking a little warm. Are you both okay?
It's just a little warm in here, and with my armor too.
And you, Nori? Do you need some water?
I'm fine.
Suit yourself. But with everyone back downstairs, shall we go take a look at the town?
Or not.
I think it'd be better if Bryn and Nori of any of us left.
They're all together now.
Yeah, we're down here now. Maury, since I don't take gold, do you want to ask if the whole town doesn't?
I think Nori's still dying laughing.
You would be correct.
The Nori files have stopped
So
working.
sorry.
404. Kaporn in his best Nori impression. Does the whole town not take gold?
Fortunately, Kaporn does not have tongues.
What am I asking?
If the whole town doesn't take gold, since the hotel doesn't.
Yeah, I think I'll go up to the lady and just go, does the whole town not take gold?
I mean, people will take it, but it's really not worth anything to us down here.
All right, so
You see, this mine, one of the main things we mine is gold.
it's less valuable to you all.
It's just more plentiful for us here.
Makes sense. They will take gold, but the whole mine around here is for gold, so it's not worth as much to them. So
Well, it's not for gold, it's just one of the things we do mine.
yeah.
I don't know if they have it on them, but would they be able to exchange some platinum for electrum? Not electrum, trillium then.
Would we be able to exchange some platinum for some trillium?
Yes, we can take care of any monetary exchanges you may need.
Nori will nod to Bryn.
So yeah, you can transfer as much platinum over to trillium that you want. Each one platinum that you do will be 20 trillium.
Thanks. I'll just make it even, and I'll do 8 platinum, just to get a little bit of a trillium thing, I guess.
Okay. She takes care of it quickly and easily for you. Is there anything else I'd be helping you with?
Is there anything else we need? I don't think so.
We all had a wonderful day then.
You as well. All right, where are we heading?
Kaporn just slides in. Out on the town.
And didn't we get here pretty late?
Not really. Like 2 p.m.-ish. It was the day before. It was when you guys got to Bagram. That was right before dusk.
Gotcha.
Does the city seem to have the same kind of cycle of like some in the evening, some in the mornings, or is it?
Well, as far as looking around, there's a plentiful amount of people moving around, and as far as you can see, all the shops seem to be open. So you guys haven't been here an entire day yet, so you're not sure if anything changes, is different, or is the same. But at least right now, everything seems to be open and people are moving around.
Well, the place that Rashi mentioned, I lost the name of it already. God damn it.
Eager winged lion.
Eager-winged lion. I know. I was trying to look for it. I know it was something, but the eager-winged lion. If you want to look out for that.
Ooh, that sounds like an interesting shop.
What's inside? Did Rashi tell you about it?
She just told me that we could find type of device for the ones who like to get in trouble. If we don't say it, maybe Racha and maybe Kaporan too.
Who?
Nothing.
Another form of clothing?
Sure.
Kaporan's always down for some new clothes. So he's like, okay. And walks out the door.
So where is the shop?
I think it was the second floor.
Correct.
So it's up one.
Wait, so are we all heading to the second floor?
Always meander around the third floor since that's what we're on, or we can go up there, yeah.
I guess Kaporan walks out and he's like, do we notice anything out of the, like, anything particular or anything interesting as soon as we walk out of the fluffy Pegasus?
Make a perception check.
Got it.
All of us, or?
Well, he's the only one that asked, so. Besides a giant fluffy Pegasus above you, I mean, luckily you guys are taller, so you don't have much of a eyesight problem trying to look at stuff. Looking around, you see a bunch of buildings with signs and languages you can't read. As far as any single item or thing just peering out to you and catching your interest, there's no specific thing. There's not like another fluffy Pegasus hanging around somewhere else.
Okay. Expected as much. Bryn, where is this shop you want to look for?
I believe it's on the second floor.
Then shall we head out?
Sounds good to me. And Kaporan walks towards the elevator.
All right, so you guys get to one of the elevators going up, heading to the second floor. You do so. And you are on the second disc. Go ahead and anyone who is looking out for it, give me investigation checks.
I'm done. Nori got it.
Wow. I'm
This is
smart.
for looking for the shop, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Saren won't contribute.
Nori's just spotting all the buildings today.
Well, unfortunately, none of you guys can read any of the signs. So
I have tongues. Does that help with
spoken language.
Well, damn. Even with my nice nat 20.
I'm getting to it. You guys can't read any of the signs, and so it's very much window shopping as you guys are moving along. Hence the investigation check and not the perception. Nori, you guys end up kind of splitting, but staying at least the same. As you guys are walking around the circle, you guys stay with each other, but are on different sides of the streets, kind of like looking in, trying to figure out what place each shop may be. And Nora, you come up to a window that has the picture of a lion with wings. It seems to be etched into the glass.
Well, I think I found it.
Kaporin comes over. It's like, oh, you did? What did you find?
This, and I point to the the store.
From the window, what do we see?
You see a lot of clothes, mainly in child sizes, but you also see some teddy bears or fluffy animal bear esque items. This seems to be more of a kid's shop, but there are some clothing options for adults as well further in the back.
I kind of look at Bryn and raise an eyebrow.
Rashi told you to come here, Bryn?
Just gonna whisper into Nori's ear because she does not want Richard and Kaporin to hear this. She said that the Duragar children wear these little leash things so they don't go over the edge.
Yeah, that's very smart. Rashi is perceptive.
Make a performance check, Britt.
Oh god, am I about to like scream this?
So, everyone's passive perception picks up on this.
Amazing.
She just puts the wrong hand up as she's whispering in Nori's ear.
God damn it. Oh wow. Oh wow.
I don't know if Kaporin would be interested in the leash.
Over the edge?
Bryn, you kind of look to your left and realize that everyone's just staring at you as you said this.
No, Bryn, I don't swing that way.
Shaw's gonna look towards the cliff edge and just is like, sounds like fun.
Yeah, please don't. I don't want to have to run off and turn into a bird and save you.
The little children have leashes.
To prevent and sorry.
As soon as Bryn realized that she did not whisper that at all, she's just gonna face palm. She's like, God damn it.
Good idea, Bryn, but not with the right person. If you ask me, I don't know what you're into.
She's just gonna look at you like, oh god, no.
Why would you come to that conclusion? In what world?
Kaporin heard leash and over the edge, and it's just like that. Kaporin's
No.
not into that.
Bungee jumping?
Exactly. That was what Racha is referring to, but he's a little confused at what Kaporin's talking about.
Now things are starting to turn in Racha's head.
Richard is like going between two ideas now.
Well, yeah, basically he heard you're allowed to go over the edge as long as you have a leash.
Racha's like inside measuring leashes for himself.
We're not going bungee jumping.
Kaporin's gonna skip out on this shopping, just like maybe another time.
we've lost Bryn for a little bit.
No worries. Nori, with your investigation check, as you guys are looking at other things that are on this floor, you come across a butchery. This store, the Eagerwing Lion, you come across what looks to be a gadget and gizmo shop, and you come across what looks to be some sort of stationery store.
All right. Sorry.
Can't wait until camera
I
show.
point these all out to the group. I have tears in my eyes. I'm not going to lie to y'all.
Oh no, yeah, my stomach is hurting very much. So laughing so much.
Ooh, gizmos. Kaporn's gonna be like, I'm gonna go look over there. Uh, I don't know.
You go by yourself.
Kaporn's just over there window shopping.
Looking inside, there's a bunch of little items. You see some sort of like mechanical creations, like little contraptions that will walk across the tabletop by itself with some wound up power. Um, it's all like small hobby toys.
It sounds like the swap meet here in Hawaii.
Somewhat. It's a bunch of little small toys and contraptions. It's kind of like a Sky Mall magazine, but in a store.
So a lot of likely pointless stuff that's cool to look at.
It's like likely pointless stuff, but you're like, fuck. You know, there is that one time in my life where I need something that does that. But other than that one time in my life, I don't know when I would ever fucking use it again.
Kaporn's gonna go inside and just look around but not touch anything. Learning after Racha.
Okay.
Racha would actually probably be very interested in that shop as well.
All right.
He'd mostly be looking for essentially souvenirs that he could bring back to the kids of the flock.
Okay. The smallest but most entertaining thing that you would come across is these little wind-up frogs, like an inch and a half long by an inch wide, and you do the little wind-up, and they end up jumping like a good foot across the table.
I have like the Christmas scene where like a Christmas scene where like all the little marching toys just go into the bag, and that's what I want Racha to basically do right now.
I'm assuming that others are standing outside waiting for them. Nora, you might want to go in there, see if they want to buy something.
Yeah, I thought I was in there.
So far, only Kapoor and Rachar are inside.
Well, I'm also in there.
All right, Noah's in there too. You probably have about like 15 minutes left of your tongue spell. Yeah. But yeah, that's probably the easiest, smallest little thing that you could get a lot of for the kids, Rachar.
Do they have like a pop cap gun kind of thing, where like it shoots off a little string kind of thing?
They have cap guns. They don't have pop cap guns.
No, he doesn't want to give them actual like airsoft guns.
Oh, they're not airsoft. It's just a little bit of black powder in the little caps, and they just make a pop when you pull the trigger.
Nah, that's too enabling.
Giving gunpowder to children in any form is a bad idea.
He will take the frogs, and then if there's anything that's like an interesting gadget that he thinks Haha might like.
An interesting gadget that Haha would like. Let me see here. They do have recording stones in here. So it's a little pebble, but it squishes almost like a jelly bean, but then it reforms its shape, and every time you press it, it'll replay whatever message is saved to it.
How long is the message? Can it be?
It's only a few words, like "I love you" or "Have a nice day." So like 4 to 5 words.
Damn, Caporn was gonna say. I had an idea for Caporn, but okay.
He will take 5 of those.
5 of the stones.
Correct.
Okay. That'd be 10 trillium for 5 stones.
And then how much for like a dozen of the jumping frogs?
The jumping frogs come in sets of 5.
15 then.
So when
Sounds
you get
good.
15, that's 3 trillium.
Cool. He'll hand over 13 trillion.
All right, and you get your small little satchel of items.
What are those for?
He would mimic something the little kid said.
I thought you were going to say people fucking back in the day.
That's 2 on the nose.
That's adorable. They're gonna love it.
He'll just look towards the shopkeep, and even though they won't understand, he'll say, "Pleasure doing business with you."
They just nod.
And Capernaum's in there too, so I would wait until he's done doing whatever he's doing before I leave.
Is there any type of item you're looking for, Kaporin?
Nothing in particular. Maybe well, besides the little gadgets or the little walking toys, it's Caporn might buy 1 or 2 of those recording stones.
Give me an investigation check, Kaporin.
Okay.
Because there's a couple of things in here you might like.
I'm excited. I'm not so excited.
Give him help.
Unfortunately, no, because he doesn't even know what he's looking for.
Okay, worth a shot.
So, Kaporin, the most interesting thing that you find seems to be a water-powered, and also it turns it into steam, set of like automatic shears. They're not super thick, so they're not meant for animals. It looks like it's supposed to be more like salon-style shears that also have a spritzing mechanism to spritz the hair and cut them at the same time.
Caporn does like that. He's like, he grabs it. He's like, huh, and plays around with it a little bit. He's like, holds it up to the shopkeep, and he's like, how much?
And she puts up her hand of 5.
What are you getting that for, Capernaum?
Just in case someone likes their braid. Caporn's gonna hand over 5 trillium, and unless he spots anything else before he walks out, yeah, probably be the only purchase he makes.
Okay. So with that, we're all leaving the gadget store.
Yes.
Can you kick? Yep, there you go. She's not hearing anything, and she's trying to figure it out.
Fine. Now she can go sit over there for a while.
She's saying it's working now.
She hath been punished.
Go sit in the corner.
Are we having one-on-one?
There, she can stay there.
I can't stop laughing.
People on our stream aren't gonna know what the fuck is going on.
Everyone, welcome to the stream.
All right.
You're good with the gizmo shop though.
Okay. You guys still have plenty of daylight left, as well as the night for the rest of this town. What would you guys like to do?
We haven't noticed any like pattern to the town yet. Like, second floor is shopping district, third floor is
No, it's all mismatched, and different things are in different places.
Is there some sort of adult clothing, not like adult clothing store, just a clothing store for not children?
Yeah, there's it was. Yeah, it was down on the third floor.
Gotcha. Well, he would probably just explore generally the layout to just get the lay of the land kind of thing. If everybody's following him, they are free to. He's not exactly stealthing this time. Before we head off the second floor, though, he's definitely like giving that indication of like, you sure you don't want to get this leash?
Yeah, no, Bryn's gonna just shake her head.
Kaporn will visit back later. But yes, I think we are all good here unless exploring the rest of this port, because we only basically explored the west side of this town, of this portion of the town.
Of the second floor, yeah.
So Kaporn's just like, why don't we just go look around the ring for a little while and then head back?
Sounds good. Rachel would actually be looking out for some sort of herbalist or alchemists while we're wandering.
Okay, so to make it easier on you guys, you can travel through first, second, and third floors. Are there any shops or anything that you would like to find? I got apothecary for one.
General store for like, I'm looking for a new musical item.
Okay.
I assume anything here is going to be kind of like mostly metal or metallic, so.
The clothing store would be to try and find some sort of outfit that Tat would like.
Okay. Anybody else looking for anything?
Theron's not gonna like really be looking, but if they happen to pass right next to a magic shop,
Okay. Bryn, Nori?
Nori's also kind of passively looking for a magic shop.
Okay. Bryn?
I have no idea what to look for.
You don't have to look for anything. I'm just asking if you are.
Nothing in particular then.
Okay. So, Saren and Nori, you guys either both make investigation or one of you with advantage.
I have Saren advantage. I have terrible investigation.
2 investigations. Hold on 1 second. Uh, 22.
Okay, so you do end up coming across a magic shop, and as far as Saren goes, you also come across a stationery shop, which would be a place to get different gradations of paper and ink. But you do guys end up coming across a magical shop, and it's only after standing in front of the shop for a little while that you actually see the sign is constantly changing languages until it gets to common. And you see that it reads the brass amulet.
Saren will hide inside.
I shall as well.
Okay. And in the background, Kaporin and Racha, go ahead and give me investigation checks as well for your stores.
Wow. I wish I had that earlier.
Racha, you're easily able to find a nice leatherworking shop that deals in more adult-esque clothes and sizes. So you have your pick of the litter of different colors and fabrics, depending on how pricey you want to go or how modest you want to go. This place would be able to do it all and is also a tailor, so it can also form fit stuff for you.
I was partially considering the thought that maybe Racha accidentally got a dominatrix outfit.
We'll see when it comes to persuasion.
But he will do his best to get her something nice. But he has no context for what nice is.
So you trying to just like ask the person something nice?
Yeah, he's gonna.
Or you can like peruse the items.
He'll peruse the items, and then if somebody like comes up to ask like, "Could I help you find anything?" He'll try to body language and pantomime his way through saying, "I'd like some sort of dress outfit."
Okay, go ahead and give me a performance check.
And these stores are happening at the same time.
Yeah, roughly.
It was so close to a 20.
But this would be, since Nori and Saren are going to be using the last of her tongue spell to do their magic shop stuff, this would be without Nori's translating assistance.
Gotcha. Bryn would have went with Racha, just she doesn't really want to go into the magic shop.
When you're talking with the woman who's helping you out, she kind of like lowers and raises her hand to try and get a height until you kind of like point to the right height that you think Tat is. And she kind of then does like a how long do you want it, and kind of like puts her hands down to her sides and like goes down and up. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check. Okay, so you do know that this is for a dress and not for boots, because that would have been a very different choice.
He's going to incidentally break that personal bubble and like if she's wearing a dress, kind of like basically what she's wearing.
She kind of nods and it brings over a couple different colors. What color would you like it in?
Oh, I don't know Tat's favorite color. Let's go with like a periwinkle blue.
She kind of nods and goes and puts everything together. She kind of comes over and like squeezes your sides and then kind of like expands her hands, trying to say how thin is she. And you kind of try to recollect and go and kind of like push her hands into your sides a little bit until it's roughly how you think. And then she nods and goes and starts putting everything together. And she kind of pushes the translation that it's going to take her about an hour.
He will nod and ask how much.
You one dress?
Yeah, just for her.
Okay. So with the tailor and everything, that's going to be 11 trillium.
We'll hand over 15 because he knows tipping is important.
She gives you a smile, a wink, and a wave as you head on out. Kaporin.
Isa.
As you go across a couple of the buildings, you end up finding one on the second floor that the first thing that catches your eye is a lute that sits in off to the side of the window. Going inside, this looks to be some sort of pawn shop, as many different random items from different degradations are here, and the lute sits off in the corner. Not quite pristine, but an interesting design that you're not used to, as well as a few other instruments in here. Looks like a horn. Looks like a set of small personal drums, as well as a full standing harp in the corner, and what looks to be some sort of it's a xylophone. Those are the only instruments that are in here.
Taking a look at the loot, would it be any different compared to my own?
Make an investigation check.
Found the stupid shop. Don't know what the hell's in it.
Looking at it, it's an interesting design. It doesn't seem to have a lot of wear to it. And when you pick it up, it kind of vibrates in your hand a little bit. It looks nice. Now that you actually get to hold it and kind of play around with it, it sounds really good. But it seems kind of muted for some reason, as if it needs to be tuned correctly, and you don't want to go around messing around tuning it in the middle of the store. But other than that, it's a very nice lute.
Kaporin holds it up to the shopkeeper. He's like, how much?
The Durgar male kind of raises his eyebrows and takes out a piece of paper, and he writes down 3,000.
This is a pawn shop, and I think worth 3,000. Good lord.
He looks at your reaction, and he points to the lute, and then he points to himself, and then he kind of slaps his hands together and separates them, and a bit of almost like flash powder that magicians use kind of happens between his hands.
He pointed at the loot and then he did that?
Yeah.
Huh. Kaporin, I just shake my head and say, okay. Interesting. I'll put it back down, not to break it, and...
Couldn't if you wanted to.
Yeah. Kaporin's just like, okay, thank you, and walks. With the can I do another investigation to see if there's anything else interesting in this store?
Sure, go ahead. After being downtrodden from the one item that you were possibly going to buy being too expensive, kind of get lackluster at looking at everything else as you're walking out. And there's, a couple things like, it's a weird set of spectacles. Let's see. Yeah. A weird set of glasses, a interesting looking umbrella, and what seems to be some sort of stone, but that's about it.
kind of like just downhearted that he found something interesting, but he obviously can't afford it. Is gonna just wave, like thank you, and head out the shop, head back to where he last saw Bryn and Nori.
Okay. Nori and Saren. You guys enter the shop. Is there anything specific you're looking for, or just perusing the items?
Saren at first will look for spell scrolls, but if he doesn't find any, he'll just peruse.
I help him look for spell scrolls as well, and then if nothing is found, I also want to peruse.
Okay. Unfortunately, there are no spell scrolls here. But perusing, go ahead and give me individual investigation checks.
Oh boy.
Okay, gotta turn off my advantage.
I am now scared.
Okay, Nori.
At least it wasn't a 1.
You, after quickly looking with Saren for scrolls and not seeing anything, kind of just more slowly walking down one of the aisles, and interestingly enough, there's a pipe that sits kind of on its own little sort of velvet pedestal, and you're just super curious at what is a pipe doing here. So that's really, you kind of just get enamored by this pipe and just are focusing in on it. Saren, there's a couple items. Unfortunately, none of you guys can read anything. So the things that stand out to you, Saren, there are 2 tankards that sit next to each other. Though obviously separate, they sit next to each other at the end of one of the aisles. There is a set of goggles that rests off the neck of the upper torso mannequin that sits up against the far corner wall. You've got a cloak that also rests off the back of that mannequin. And a gem that sits underneath the first shelving that the register would be located at. It's not underneath glass or anything, so you can reach out and touch it, but there is a small sapphire-looking gem that resides underneath.
What'd you say the first one was? I got the glasses, the cloak, and the gem.
The tankards.
Like
mugs.
Oh, mugs. Okay. I'm gonna go look at the cloak first.
Okay. There's an all-black cloak with on the outside, and then the inside seems to be like very dark midnight blue. But as far as looking at it, that seems to be the only thing that you can see.
Are there any attendants in the store?
There's one guy behind the counter.
Does he look at all inclined to come help us? Or is he just staying behind the counter?
He's staying behind the counter. There's nobody else in the shop, so he's obviously keeping an eye on you guys, but he's not going to give up his position.
But Bryn's not here, so.
Well, Bryn would probably hang out with Nori, so.
Oh no, I went with Richoff.
Oh yeah, these are on different floors, so I mean, you guys aren't like just all separating because that's not how you guys do.
Oh, gotcha.
So eventually, as you two go in, Bryn's probably either just outside babysitting the 2 boys, or come inside as well.
I'm not leaving Kaporin and Rachat alone. I'm babysitting.
Apparently, we all have to go inside then.
Saren will turn to Nori then and ask. I know your tongues is still up for a little bit. Would you mind asking the shopkeeper what this cloak is capable of?
Nori looks up from the pipe that she was weirdly enamored with and just goes, okay. And then I guess we go up to the cloak. We go up to the person.
Clerk?
I said cloak, so that was fun.
The cloakert. All right. So have you found anything to buy?
My friend here was curious about that cloak over there.
Aye, the cloak of the bat.
It's called the Cloak of the Bats.
That it is, young lass. It's an interesting cloak that will help you keep you hidden a little bit easier. And also, if one seems to find themselves in the darker depths of the world, you can use your situation to make yourself fly for a short distance.
Looks very interesting. So, I relay this to Saren.
What about that gem over there? And I'll point towards the fourth item.
And then what about that gem?
Aye, that'd be a gem of brightness. Interesting little find that we did. The gem itself has a certain amount of uses, and when you're holding the gem, you can take a bit of time and do one of three things with the gem. You can use the command word, and the gem will light up the space around you. That doesn't use any of its uses, but you can speak another word, and you can use the gem to shoot out a beam of light at a foe, possibly blinding them for a while. And then there's another command word that uses quite a few uses of it, but it will create this blinding light around you for about a good ways away, and everyone inside will either have to cower and close their eyes or possibly become blinded.
I again relay this to Saren.
How much for each?
How much for each?
Oh, well, the gem itself, even if the charges aren't there anymore, is worth a good 100 trillium in its own. So with all the extra abilities that it's got as well, you're looking at just shy of 2,000 trillium. So 1,900 trillium. As far as the clock goes, that one is 2,400 trillium.
Again, I relay this to Saren.
Saren will go back over. We'll thank Nori, and then go back over to examine the cloak and think about it a little bit.
Anything for you, dear?
No, I am just here to help my friend with translation.
Oh, you seemed mighty keen on that pipe over there.
Yeah, what is that?
That's an interesting little enchantment we've got going on. We call it the Pipe of Remembrance. And it's not only is it a very nice cutout pipe, but when the pipe is lit and smoked through, after 10 minutes of smoking, the smoke will form around you, making the shapes of reenacting your most impressive and heroic achievements for 5 minutes straight. And then after the 5 minutes, the smoke will dissipate.
Well, that's interesting.
Yes, it's a nifty little thing, especially when sometimes words don't really tell the story just all too well.
Nori definitely doesn't want this because that sounds horrible to her, but she thinks about Corparin and just goes, I've got a friend who might find this interesting. How much?
Well, it's your most impressive and heroic achievements, not your most traumatic.
I feel like, is it only the person that's stoned out of their minds that witnesses these achievements?
It's not a crack pipe. It's just a tobacco pipe. You gotta be like, hold on, guys.
Hold on, let me get high. I need to see my own stuff.
I need to trip balls for 10 minutes before you guys can see this shit.
I can't tell you stories unless there's two of you.
But yes, whoever is smoking the tobacco from the pipe, it tells their most heroic achievement. That one is 150 trillium.
Interesting. We're kind of like, at first it was like, oh, Corparin would like this. And then I'm like, he's going to be insufferable with it. Maybe I should not get this for him.
It can only be used once a day.
I feel like he'd still abuse it.
Be like rewatching a movie every night. Like, hey, did you remember this?
Oh, here comes the part where you... Okay, cool, yeah.
I don't even know what the Corparin's most heroic moment is.
Yeah, that'll have to be, I'll have to go back through the files to figure that out.
I was gonna say being the one that killed the snake.
Oh yeah, that would be a pretty cool one.
But is there anything else there that you might be finding a fancy in?
No, I don't have anything in particular I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
Corparin just kind of anything for a bard?
What's the tall one saying?
He said anything for a bard.
I mean, Pipe of Remembrance is a pretty good bardic thing, I would suppose. I mean, it's one thing to be singing about something that might have happened, it's another to be singing and there be a show behind you. But if that doesn't float your boat, I do have this this personal little harp right here, and he pulls a small harp, about 1.5 feet tall and about 1 foot wide.
Well, Corparin, they've got this cute little harp.
Now, to be fair, it's 3,000 trillium, but with this harp, you can do quite some amazing things.
Like?
First off, anyone who tries to play this harp, and while it's attuned to somebody else, might possibly receive a shock of psychic energy racing through them, making them drop your harp immediately. But also, this harp allows you to access certain magical abilities that otherwise you may not even know. I know of at least a few people who have been able to use this harp to make themselves fly. One even made themselves invisible. And another one was even able to coax the mightiest of bears as a friend using this harp.
This harp sounds so cool.
I relay this to Corparin.
Also, for those more musically inclined, this harp some of those that have the magics that can persuade the mind, this one has more potent effect. Meaning that any creature trying to make a saving throw against a charm spell has disadvantage.
I really want this. I'm doing some math.
Yeah. So this, if someone's attuned to it and somebody else tries to play it, they make a DC 15 Wisdom save, or they take 2d4 psychic damage. You can use an action to play the instrument and cast Fly, Invisibility, Levitate, Protection from Evil and Good, Animal Friendship, Protection from Energy, Fire, Protection from Poison.
Bread. Corn looks at it as like really tempted and really wants to buy it, or like he looks over at Bryn and is like, or looks for Bryn and kind of like brings her over like a child looking at a toy. It's like, I really want it.
I'm assuming she wasn't actually in there for that explanation.
After a few moments, Nori can relay what it does.
Yeah.
It's 1,500 gold, so that'd be 150 platinum.
Can we afford it, Bryn? The cutest puppy dog eyes you've ever have just popped onto Kaporan's face as he is like child.
Somehow the guy that's taller than you now resembles and is the same height of a 7-year-old with the giant, like, half moon, like, anime eyes.
Oh, God.
You could leave it up to the dice if you don't want to actually make the decision.
Yeah, ultimately,
with that performance, though, I'd have to say you do get disadvantage.
Yeah. Oh, God. What would the dice be, I guess, then?
Easiest way to do it is roll a d20, and over 10, you don't buy it. Under 10, you do buy it. Or 10 and over, you don't buy it. Under 10, you do buy it. That's how I make, like, half the decisions I do for my NPCs.
Or you can just straight out tell Kaporan no, but...
This too.
We have the money, but... Okay.
It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
You guys are finally in a decently magical area.
In platinum?
What was that?
How much is it again in platinum?
150.
Nori, are you sure that's the final price?
Nori.
Oh, asking me. Okay. My friend here's asking if that's if we can go any lower.
That's a mighty fine deal already. I mean, only 7 of these types of instruments reside in the world at once, and besides this one, you've got the one lute over.
Wow, so he knows of the other one?
You've got the one lute over at the Brown Tiara, but besides that, I'm not even sure where the rest reside in the world. So, I'd have to say that 3,000 trillium is a mighty fine deal.
I relay this.
It's not like I'm going to be just making another one up in the back or something.
Oh no, I understand that, and it's a very impressive thing. Kaparan, can you play the harp?
Is the harp different from a lyre?
I believe so. I believe it's called a lyre.
A lyre. I've always called it lyre. Oops.
Well, We'll just think Pokemon. Kaporin uses Leer.
I don't know if it. I don't even. Well, Kaporin. Okay, Kaporin is proficient in lutes, leers, and pan flutes.
So no, you're,
Correct.
you're. I mean, you could use it, and it would take you a while to learn it, but you're not going to be proficient in it right away.
But
Okay, so proficiency wise, he's pan flute, lyre, and lute.
Correct.
did see that one loot, so and it was a similar price, wasn't it?
Oh no, Kaporin, was it?
Uh,
Because Kaporin saw the
Yeah.
loot.
Kaporin's like, oh, well, I don't know if Nori. Okay, does Nori say the loot? Is my first
Yeah.
question.
I would have asked,
Actually, no, you wouldn't have even seen the loot yet.
but I would have
because-
said,
No,
Yeah.
because your tongues is about to run out. So
Oh, fuck.
you guys went to this store first. So this is before you even see the loot, Kaporin.
well,
Oh.
they've got this. He's got this one, and there was only 7 made in the whole world. So the fact that there's 2 here, 2 anywhere near here, is impressive. There's a loot at where was the store I was at?
A brown tiara.
There's a loot at the Brown Tiara. Then there's this harp here.
He's putting the harp away.
Kaporin's like, okay, maybe we check the loot. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm assuming the transaction's kind of like dead because we're taking too long.
Well, he's only hearing Nori's side of things. So
Yeah.
he knows you guys are about to go to a competitor. And so he's becoming
I-
jaded.
I do have a question. Do you have anything for more nature-focused magics?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe another store might have something that's sort of competitive and you just want to go there and get it from there, from them.
No, I would just kind of give a long blink and just. Okay.
I mean, I've got plenty of other fantastic items that you're never going to find anywhere else in the world, but oh, please. Go.
Which is why I asked.
Yes, you also asked about the harp, and now you're off to go find a loot.
Ori, who's not great at confrontation, just. I don't even know what she does. She kind of looks at Saren, who's still looking at that bat thing.
I've got tomes here that are great for wizards. I've got things that'll cancel spells. I've got other cloaks.
I don't understand the tomes thing, do I?
Nope. I've got things to make you stronger. I've got stuff that has a bunch of mystery behind it.
Okay, I relay these to the group because the
Something
thing
that
about
helps with the spirits.
the thing about the tomes and then the make you stronger, I relay that because they both sound useful to our situations.
Are we
Come
all
over
in there?
when he says the tome stuff?
Yeah, you're all in there, Richa.
If he wasn't, I was gonna grab. I would have grabbed him as I was pulled into the store.
Oh yeah, once you come into the store, I'm guessing you're pushing everyone else in.
Can I just make like a general investigation check around the thing then?
Sure.
When I get to the counter, I'm gonna do something. When Nora's translating, is she translating like word for word?
Yeah, I try my best to give a word for word.
When I get to the counter, I'm gonna pull out my small clay statue of a ziggurat, and I'm gonna put it on the counter, and I'm gonna gesture to myself, like I'm asking permission.
Oh, a little wizard elf. Yeah, it's fine. I know that spell. He just nods to you.
I cast tongues on myself.
Welcome to the conversation.
Thank you for having me. My companion here said you had tomes to benefit wizards.
Of course, it wouldn't be a magical shop if I didn't have one, but looking at the strenuation on your friends and the amounts that I've given them for other items, I don't think this is going to be within their wheelhouse of purchasing.
Uh, Brandon, do you feel at all comfortable in investing in the group's strength?
They'll nod.
Because this is definitely a magic shop is definitely as good as place as any. For the majority of the group as well.
Well, if you're looking at spending some serious coin, then I've got some books for you. Brain, go ahead and give me an investigation check. Racha, with your investigation check, are you looking for anything specific or just perusing the shelves?
Mostly just looking around to see if there's anything of interest to me, not in particular.
One thing, two things. You really like the goggles that are over by the cloak of the bat that Saren was looking at. You also see an interesting iron key that rests on one of the shelves next to the pipe, actually. Besides that, you find a lantern that looks oddly mystifying, and a little box made up of materials that you can't even identify that sits on one of the shelves all by itself. Unfortunately, Brandon, you don't see anything. You're dealing with everyone asking you for money.
Racha would. Are these things like pick up? Can I pick them up and bring them up to the
Yeah.
thing? He'd wait his turn behind Kaparin, but then sort of stand there with the goggles and the key in his hand.
Okay.
And the lantern. Why not? We'll get all three of them.
All right. With everyone kind of starting to crowd around. Oh, all right. Who am I dealing with first?
Nori will back up.
I suppose Saren's already right there.
Yeah, Racha would have basically been waiting behind Saren.
How much would it be for one of the tomes?
Well, if you're interested in the tomes, let me get them out. And he goes to the back, pulls out a small chest, brings it to behind the counter, opens it up, and grabs 2 tomes. One he puts down, it's a leather-bound book. From direct sight, doesn't seem to be anything super different or fantastic or dissimilar from some of the other spell books that you've seen higher up wizards using. But the other one that he puts down seems to be made out of some rough sort of hide that you haven't seen before. And on the front of it, there is a picture of like a water wheel. All right, Elfie boy. Which how fancy are you finding yourself today? Are you looking for something a bit more tame, or are you wanting to take a trip to the wild side? And when he does tame, he puts it over the regular looking book, and then wild side over the wheel book.
Personally, I'd prefer wild, but I'm not going to attempt to push too hard when it comes to the money today. Maybe another time. I don't know why.
Okay, so he takes the water wheel book and puts it back in the chest. Alright, well, here I have a tome for you. It's called an Arcane Grimoire. When you're holding this book and you use it as your spellcasting focus for your spells, you get an extra little bonus to your spell attacks, as well as to the saving throws of your spells. So it's a +2 bonus to spell attack rolls and to your saving throw for your DC. You can also use this book as a spell book. And in addition, when you use your Arcane Recovery feature, you can increase the number of spell slot levels you regain by 1.
Sounds wildly expensive, though.
This little number is going to set you back 5,000 trillium.
What is that? 250 plat?
Yep.
I just have a like a plain spellbook, huh?
Yep.
Do I know in general how much that's worth?
The Arcane Grimoire?
No, just like
Oh, your spellbook in general?
yeah.
It's not worth a whole hell of a lot. Mainly because pretty much every student is given one.
$250 plat. Oh, that's a hard sell. I
Your spellbook in a wizarding area would probably garner you 30 gold, but these aren't wizards.
I'm gonna relay that to Brid and say, I know that seems like a very heavy price, but as I said, this is as good as place to strengthen the group if possible. If you don't feel like buying the spellbook, I definitely recommend at least buying the harp.
Well, I'll let you have that discussion while you're trying to figure it out. I'll hold on to the book. Who's up next?
Rachel will step up and place his 3 things onto the table.
Oh, you've got an eye for some interesting little doodads that we've got here.
He just sort of mimics what he heard.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. He'll bring out a clay ziggurat and cast tongues on himself. Alright, Bird. Well, first what we got here is a nice key. He kind of holds it up, kind of spins it on his finger. We call this one the mystery key. As you can see by the question mark engraved into the handle. This key has a small chance at unlocking any lock in the world in which it's inserted. But the caveat being, once the key does so, it disappears.
Ooh, fascinating.
Now, as far as these goggles go, these are the goggles of night, granting you the ability to see into the dark, just like our Dorogar family here. We already have natural dark vision, but some other races have a bit of a hard time. So this one will let you see out for 60 feet in the night.
He's just sort of nods at that because he knows exactly what he's talking about, but I can't see shit outside of the light.
And I see you brought the ghost lantern. This is an interesting little find that we made not too long ago, actually. as you can see, and he kind of like waves his hand over the side of it, and it looks almost like mist is kind of moving on the inside of the lantern. There's a restless spirit that is trapped inside the lantern. While you're holding the lantern, you can command the spirit to shed light 30 feet out and 30 feet beyond, a little bit dimmer. Also, while holding the lantern, you can order the spirit to leave the lantern. And I'm not sure if you've ever dealt with the Mage Hand spell, but it allows you to grasp things not too heavy, but off from a distance safely. And this command word will allow you to let the spirit leave the lantern and do such things like that. When the spell ends, the spirit returns back to the lantern. Another interesting little caveat to this is if for ever any reason, especially in battle, you go down and you're on death's door, the spirit, as long as you're within 10 feet of the lantern, will emerge from the lantern and stabilize your wounds, keeping you from dying.
He's just gonna sort of look at it, and he'll point into the little spirit wisps and go, "Hurt people that way?"
No, these are spirits that have long passed over into the ethereal plane. They no longer have any semblance of a soul anymore and can no longer recollect anything about their life. These are long ancient spirits that aimlessly drift throughout the world.
He likes it. He'll point at that and the key for the two things that he's most interested in, and then I even forget what the goggles. I guess he would actually ask for a price on all three.
All three of them together, you're looking at you're looking at 2,300 trillium.
He will he'll like move the lantern and the key to the side, and he'll point at those two, kind of thing.
So the lantern and the key?
Yeah, just those two together.
All right. That's going to be 1,600 trillium. He points to the lantern and says, "This alone is 1,500."
If he'll be thinking it over. If somebody else would like to talk it over, or discuss their stuff.
Well, anybody else?
Yeah, I suppose Saren and Brent are having a debate right now.
Mm-hmm. How's that going?
Bryn understands that it would make him a better wizard and stronger wizard, thus helping the group out. But she also knows that he is not close with this group, and she doesn't feel like there's anything stopping him from turning back home as soon as she hands this book over, if she buys it. So she can go either way. She needs a strong ass reason to why the hell he would actually stay with us and help us then.
And Brandon, everybody else, you all understand the shopkeep now, since he cast tongues on himself.
I'm gonna pull Brayden towards like the back of the store to have this conversation with her.
You want me to put you guys in a different room?
No, I guess it's fine. Did Bryn say any of that to Saren out loud?
Yeah, as soon if you asked her about it, she would have been. I understand it would make you a better wizard. I'm not quite sure of all of it, but obviously anything that would make you stronger would help the team. But Saren, I gotta be honest, I know you're not the biggest fans of of some people in our group, and my biggest worry is I buy this for you, and you turn around and leave us.
I want to say that I do understand your worries because I don't believe it's a secret that I am far from Kaporin's biggest fan, and I don't feel very close to any of the group. But I have to say, you yourself, Bryn, have done quite have has given out quite a bit of money to help me in the past, and I would at some point like to begin to repay that debt, but right now I'm not quite strong enough to do that, and I think, as backwards as it might sound to want to begin repaying that, I believe this spell book would be the next step towards being strong enough to repay it.
Just gonna think about that for a moment. Look you in the eyes. So you're telling me if we get this book, you're staying with us, no matter what the hell happens, until this debt is repaid?
He's gonna be silent for a minute, but I I won't lie. There's li- there is and very likely always will be very little love between myself and Kaporin. But this is a sizable debt that I'd be very hesitant to leave unpaid, and I will do my best to not wrong you with with this debt until it's paid.
Can I insight check him on that? Make sure I feel like he's telling the truth.
Sure, go ahead and roll an insight check. He's pretty hard to read. Haven't really spent too much time with him, having anywhere near a deep conversation, so you're not sure how to read him.
He's gonna stare at him for a second. I need you to know that if you do anything with this book, if you run away, if you turn it against us, not just me, this group, you use it against us, I will be taking it back by force, and I don't care by what means.
Saren will just nod.
Say it.
I understand.
She will stick out a hand for you to shake.
Saren will shake her hand.
Let's go buy you that book.
As you turn around, you see Kaporin currently up talking to the Durgar, holding a rainbow-colored stone and a completely black pearl. Durgar. Well, yes, these are two opposite ends of the spectrum, but still both interesting little yet powerful devices. This rainbow stone is known as a dispelling stone. It is a one-time use situation, but you can throw it up to 30 feet and it'll explode in roughly about 10 feet all around, and any magical energy that it impacts will destroy the stone, but unless it's decently strong, it's going to dispel whatever magic it comes in contact with.
What about a person's magic?
Well, people's innate magic is not so much dispellable. Obviously, if they are doing some sort of magics to themselves, whether it be empowering them in some form, like what I'm doing with my ability to speak to you all right now, or if they're making themselves fly or something like that, then it'll end those types of effects. But as far as like a person's innate ability to do magic, that's not going to be affected.
Interesting. And the pearl you said is on the opposite spectrum?
Oh yes, the pearl, also known as the Nightfall Pearl. This little baby right here. The dastardly device. Though it is decently large, it's 6 inches in diameter.
Jesus.
You spent a fair amount of time, a few moments with it to activate it, and within 10 miles all around you, you will turn day into night, and it'll last for 24 hours.
Is it a one-time spell?
No, you can use it. Once you use it, it can't be used for another 24 hours, but after that, you can use it again.
Interesting. And the price of this pearl?
Well, since it's got the ability to continuously do the spell over and over again, you can create quite some havoc. This pearl itself is going to cost you 10,000 trillium.
Corn just clears his throat. 10,000 trillion? Wow.
Yes, there's none like it in the world. This truly is one of a kind.
Amazing. I've never heard or seen of such an item that's so unique. I feel blessed just to see it. Thank you.
Not a problem. He puts another item away that you have denied purchasing.
Hey, Racha will approach again, and he'll pull out his charlatan die and like put it next to the key, and then point at the lantern and go 1400, and then point at the dice and the key and go trade.
You're trying to trade him the key to buy the lantern.
Trade the die for the key, but then he's haggling for 1400
gotcha.
on the lantern.
He looks at the die, casts a spell. Serenity notices, identify. Interesting little enchantment on this one. It could be used for all sorts of mischief. Okay, I can part with the key for this one. As far as the lantern goes, well, since you're the first one in here to actually buy anything, I'll go ahead and give you a discount on it for 14.
He'll just squint his eyes and smile and nod his head and hand over 1400.
Well, thank you very much for actually doing some business. So it is called a ghost lantern and a mystery key for equipment.
Sounds good.
I'll send you the command words for the lantern. Alright, has anybody else decided on actually getting anything?
We're gonna get the tome.
You're getting the book? Which one? The good one or the great one?
He convinced me of the good one, so I don't know anything about the great one, I suppose.
Well, do you want to know about the great one?
Oh, look at Sam.
As tempting as it is, I think we'll pass for today.
Alright. So the Arcane Grimoire, that is going to be 5,000 trillium.
So that's 250 platinum, yeah?
Yep.
We'll hand that over.
Pleasure doing business with you finally. Glad you all came around. And it's an Arcane Grimoire +2, Saren.
Is that on D&D Beyond?
Yes, it should be.
Goporn's gonna ask is like, do you know of any jobs in town, perhaps? I would certainly love to buy one of your products, but I feel like I need to work for it before I do.
Um, I mean, the mine is always looking for extra hands to do a bit of harvesting if that's the type of work you're looking for. But you don't seem like the type that actually gets their hands dirty. As far as
Uh,
other types of things where blood might soak the sand, I'm not entirely sure if there's any jobs available. You'd probably have to find yourself in the right area at the right time, talking to the right type of people.
Thank you.
I'm guessing that's it for you all then.
Yes, I think that that'll be all for us. Um, Thank you for helping us, and I do hope we have a chance to stop by here again and purchase one of your other amazing items you sell.
Not a problem. Have a great day, and I do hope that you come back to purchase some more. With that, you all slowly gather yourselves.
Well, that didn't go to what I had planned, but Saren, I'm glad you were able to get something you needed or wanted.
You actually bought it. That was a lot of money.
Brim's just gonna nod at that comment.
Rachad just spouts a bunch of Durgar sounds until he says, brown tiara.
Why do we want to go check out that store for comparing? I've already spent a lot of money. But that's up to you guys.
Britain, of course, you spend a lot of money already. I don't want to put us into any sort of predicament.
Um, I don't know. I know that if we get to a port town and we need to go sail, it's going to be pricey.
We might want to hang on to the money we have until we can get more.
That probably sounds like one of the better plans.
So as you guys are having this conversation, making your way back to the Brown Tiara, Richaw, as you get inside, it is all nicely wrapped inside some brown paper wrapping already and tied with a same periwinkle blue bow on the outside. And as the female Durgar sees you come in, she kind of goes, gets it ready, and brings it over and hands it to you, and kind of like hands it over and taps you on the shoulder and gives you a smile and a nod before going back to her post.
He'll just smile happily at it, not even really. He's like, it looks roughly her size, sure, and just puts it away.
Well, it's all wrapped up. It's treated. She's guessing that you're not going to go give it to someone right away, and you're probably going to be traveling with it for a while, so it's protected so it doesn't get destroyed.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll put it into the bag.
Is there anything anyone else would like to do?
Nope. I mean, if we find a location to play music, Porn will play. But other than that, if he sees anywhere that he probably set up, okay. Question. Go ahead. Going through the town, we don't hear or particularly notice of any kind of entertainment or music going on around here.
You do get the occasional song getting played across the winds, but no like set musical stage or anything like that. You do come across a tavern at one point. It sits on the second floor, and there are a couple people playing instruments in here, but not any like set bard that is playing. They're just kind of just fiddling around with different instruments while their friends are like they ate their lunch, or I guess this would be closer to supper. They ate their supper quickly and then are playing on their instruments while their friends are finishing up eating.
If we have time, Kaporan would want to just join in, kind of in the merriment. And unless anyone else has anything they want to do or travel to, then Kaporan will probably spend his time just enjoying playing his lute.
I think Racha's good for everything for now.
Saren is very much trying to fly under the radar right now.
Okay. So with that, we'll go ahead and end the session there as you guys are starting to sit down at the tavern and getting ready for dinner. Is there anything that you guys... also, by the way, as you guys are sitting down for dinner, you notice a familiar little blue head bobbing off in the balcony of said tavern. And you see Rashi coming down the stairs. And that's where we'll end tonight's session. So, any questions for me, guys?
You put 2 wondrous items in this town, and I feel so sad.
I put more than 2.
Yeah, there was a lot in there.
2 that I care about.
So Racha would probably spend whatever hour he needs to deattune to the parapat and reattune to the ghost lantern instead.
Saren will definitely attune to the grimoire.
Does the lantern need attunement? I don't think it does.
Yeah, it says requires attunement when you look into it.
Oh, okay. Well, don't worry about it. I didn't know it was attunement. I meant to make it as non-attunable, so don't worry.
No, whatever works.
But you know what? That's a lot. He needs to talk tomorrow, so he's not gonna attune to the grimoire yet.
Okay.
But other than questions, it's like that shop had a lot of items. That was really cool. But yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Most magic shops have a lot of items. You guys just either get kicked out of them or make their kids get involved in crimes against the city. All right. Well, if no questions are had, but you end up coming up with them, feel free to message me and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. You guys all have a great week, and if I don't talk to you before then, I'll see you all Thursday.
Have a good one, everybody.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. And thank you all for being with us. I hope you all have a wonderful week. flips the conversation. He goes, I've noticed a little thing between you and Brett.
What?
Nothing.
No matter what happens,